In the fall of 2022, I had the opportunity to get off the pavement and back onto a Harley-Davidson Pan America Special. After tackling the Rawhide Intro to Adventure training course and passing with flying colors, I was ready to hit the backroads of Colorado for a few weeks, make a redemption run to Utah, attempt to sleep on the rim of the Grand Canyon, and eventually tackle deep sand in the Southern California desert at my first adventure-focused rally. But first, I needed to test some new gear and some of my newly acquired off-roading skills. And what better way to do that than with a dispersed motorcycle camping trip to one of my favorite day ride areas near the Front Range, Guanella Pass. Good afternoon from Guanella Pass. As you can see, it is aspen season. This is my favorite time to be up in the mountains. We're gonna do some camping tonight. But for now, we got plenty of daylight left. It's like 2 p.m. here. So we're gonna go ahead and go ride Guanella Pass, check out some leaves, and go get some food. Colorado is home to 11 national forests and 2 national grasslands, totaling about 14.5 million acres. Combined with the 8.3 million acres of public lands, managed by the Bureau of Land Management, there are plenty of dispersed camping options for those looking to get a little further off the grid and away from the established campgrounds. And if you want to stay at an established campground, there are lots of those too. Guanella Pass is a 22-mile scenic byway that connects Colorado Highway 285 to Interstate 70, traversing the Arapahoe and Pike National Forests. Due to the amount of snowpack that accumulates near the summit, where the pass reaches an elevation of 11,669 feet, Guanella Pass is closed during the winter. But between late May and October, when it's typically open, Guanella Pass is one of my favorite rides near Denver. It's especially spectacular in the fall when the aspens begin to change color. At its northern terminus, Guanella Pass descends into the historic mining town of Georgetown. Founded in 1859 during the Pikes Peak Gold Rush, Georgetown has numerous shops, eateries, and historic buildings that date back to the 1800s. Today, Georgetown is known as one of the best preserved Victorian-era mining towns in Colorado. Alright, so normally whenever I come up to Georgetown, I stop at Guanella Pass Brewing right before I go up the pass. But they didn't have food, and I really came down here for food, not beer. However, I ended up at another new brewery in town. It's called Cabin Creek Brewing. It's on the south side of Georgetown, I think. No, north side of Georgetown. Anyway, their menu looks so good. I'm so excited to show y'all what I ordered. These are the Colorado Tots. They're smothered in queso, topped with bacon, cilantro, and avocado ranch. I enjoyed this brewery so much that I rode back up to Georgetown a few days later on my Sportster and had one of their pizzas. And I returned a few months later and tried one of their salads, buffalo tots, and their salted caramel cheesecake, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's definitely a great place to stop and enjoy some food and mountain views, and you can always take some beers to go, which is what I did before chasing the sun back to camp. Deers, fire, beautiful sight. Looks like it'll be a beautiful night too. Good morning. I slept like absolute garbage last night. Sometimes it happens on camping trips. They're not always perfect. This campsite's a little higher in elevation than I probably thought it was originally, and that probably played a big factor in why I didn't sleep well. I typically go to sleep between
10:30 and midnight, and I was wide awake till about 3:15 last night, tossing and turning, and that definitely had to do with the elevation. And the storm rolled in. It got really windy for about 30-45 minutes. Figured I'd just keep it real with y'all and let y'all know. I struggle bust last night, but I think it's time to pull the food out of the tree and make some breakfast before we get camp packed up. Not a bad view to wake up to, if I do say so myself. A little icy out. It's freezing outside. I think I've got this adventure camping figured out. Footrest, breakfast, lease. It's a beautiful morning. A little spam and egg action for breakfast here. Got some coffee going too. Cheers, y'all. Starting to get a little windy. I'm hoping the winds die down a little by the time I get out of here, but got a couple hours till then. So when I disperse camp and there's no running water, there's no place for trash, I always bring a trash bag. And then I put like my dirty spatula, like all my eggs in here, my coffee grounds. And then when I get home, I will like organize and clean everything. I could bring 2 trash bags technically and not put like my dishes in here with my coffee grounds and other stuff, but to me it's all gonna go down the disposal anyway. Like it's all gonna go in my sink. So for me this is easy, but you can figure out your own method. All I ask is that you don't leave your junk out here. Thank you, have a great day. So I know some of y'all are gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer a couple questions really quick. This is my new-ish coffee filter, French press from Jetboil. And I've been using this most of the season. You probably saw me using it in my hammock camping video from the Poudre Canyon at the beginning of the season. I was using a Sea to Summit X Brew beforehand, and personally I really like this and how small it folds down. You can also unscrew this right here and it gets very, very tiny. You can all fit in your Jetboil if you want it to. I store mine sometimes in my Jetboil, but oftentimes I'll put it in one of these odor-proof sacks. And that's the other thing I was going to tell y'all really quick while I'm cleaning up here. So because I'm dispersed camping in bear country, like there's actually a sign that says like active bears and stuff out here. And it is the fall, so they are trying to get as much food as possible in their bellies before they hibernate for the winter. I personally choose to use these odor-proof bags. That they're not perfect, but they're better than nothing. And then I put everything in a dry bag like this that I can hang from a tree. And I have used these Sea to Summit bags on my bike for 3 seasons now. I got them at the beginning of 2020, and they're amazing. I absolutely love these bags. They've been through a ton of miles on the back of Pan Americas, on the back of my Dyna. They've been on a bunch of trips. But yep, and then I just used some paracord, tied it up. Oh, it's stuck underneath the bag. But I just used some paracord and hang it up from a tree. I'm gonna go ahead and get camp cleaned up. It's almost 10 o'clock and we need to get out of here, so. So y'all have probably seen the dry bags that I use on the back of my Dyna, or in the last Pan Am series I used the same bags, the Sea to Summit 20 liter Big River dry bags. I have an orange one and a black one. And I use those for my camping gear to keep it dry. Well, Revzilla hooked me up with these Axial 25 liter dry bags. I have 2 of them. However, I only need 1 now for my camping gear, which is insane. All of my camping gear is in this one bag on the back of the Pan America, which is so awesome. Very, very stoked about these. I feel like they hold way more than 25 liters, but either way, they're really good bags. I don't want to leave my little aspen trees, but it is time to get back down to the Front Range. I have stuff to do this afternoon back in town. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something, whether it was about motorcycle camping or something to do outside of Denver. Guanella Pass is only about an hour, hour and a half from Denver, depending on which way you take. And then, you know, an hour, hour and a half, 4 hours, depending on how much you stop on the pass. But it's a really good ride. I highly, highly recommend it any time of year when it's open, because it is only open from about May to October, and then they don't plow the top of it in the winter. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, this was just kind of a dry run video for me to test out some new gear and get comfortable on this bike. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you all on the road. Later, y'all.